and hit the king like an 18-wheeler in and out of air lane. Never been a part of the in crowd. Got a problem with me, I said, yeah, I got the same friend that I came in with, ducking all that lane. Hey, everyone knows I'm go. I rolled in the 4x4. Believe if I kept gon' go see me with ain't gon' see them no more. They love when I talk that. Roll by the car lot when bought it. Caught case at the case and a phone. They will watch you give a yeah. I live that they rapping back, carrying them back what they carrying back.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. With the echoes of cannon blast still ringing in our ears from the north end zone, the Bucs were introduced a moment ago, and they are all set as their guys will do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Let's convert. Hey, pull down. Right there.
And they'll run it here. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Ready.
Now they'll run it on the taunts. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Easy. Let's go.
Now Jones, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Easy. Right there.
Third down. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
And this one will be touchdown inside the 40-yard line. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. But he's going to take a shot right away. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break.
Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll be inside the red zone with the ball at the 16-yard line. So a first quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost them.
Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Hey, tempo, tempo, tempo.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Quan Alexander coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the gun, it's Wilson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Levante David. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Sebastian Janikowski to try the Seahawks field goal. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And Janikowski bangs it through. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So not sure how they feel about that. They had golden field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver, because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You were talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready? Blue wave.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than the backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On 3rd down. It's Jones, and down he'll go at the 25. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
Here's Wilson. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Now a play fake here on first down. Going for the deep ball. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Justin Evans. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. And the drive begins here with Sims. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Winston. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Short throw, pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Back to it after the pick six. Winston. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And he's brought down after a good gain. A very solid gain of 27.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
On 1st and 10, Winston. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 15 yards there on the catch and run. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. Here's Jones. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And his throw is incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
They'll try and run forward Jones. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Winston looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And some room to work. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And it's hauled in by Nick Vanette. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Mitch Unrein. And the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Frank Clark. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. And they'll go on the ground. Oh, he's got a little daylight. He's got room to run past the 20. And they will finally get him down to the 27-yard line. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. Now Winston. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on 4th down. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Gerald McCoy busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover.
And down he goes, a Buccaneers sack. Gerald McCoy in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the second time. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys. But be prepared.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Gerald McCoy able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
14.
On second down, here's Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Carlton Davis picks it, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Again, it's Jones. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Winston. And he fires one, but incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL,
oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And the gamble fails. It's incomplete. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. Well, that was a long attempt to begin with, so the fake you might have known was somewhat of a possibility. Credit to the defense, though. They weren't fooled.
You're right, they weren't fooled, and they were in a position of having to play it both ways. Guard for the fake, but you still want to rush the kicker because it was a makeable kick. So they ended up getting the best out of the whole thing. Stuffed the fake, and they take over the ball.
Tempo. Good gumbo. 19.
On second down, Wilson. It's complete to Jerome Brown. And he coughed it up. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, They're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Ready. Flag 22.
Winston now after the fumble recovery. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments, plays, but stick with the running game.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Let's go.
This time Wilson will throw. Baldwin with it over the middle. He's at the 40. The 20. 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, 78 yards. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline.
And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Vernon Hargraves with a pick, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Over the middle to Evans. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. It's a big play. Winston to Evans. 46 yards. From the red zone now, Winston. Evans has it left side. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Final minute now of the third quarter.
Easy. Ready. Watch 25. Sunday.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially when we get deeper in the game.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Partner, that's another short run there, and I think the easy thing is to look at him right now and say, let's get away from him entirely to start throwing the football. But I don't think you ever entirely abandon the run. It helps set a tone for the game for you, keeps your offensive linemen feeling good about themselves, and it actually tamps down a defense's pressure because if you just throw it all the time, it's going to tee off with the pass rush.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Flushed out right. That's complete right around the 8. Dirk Cutter's guys go for it, but come up empty. And that will force a turnover on downs. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Let's go. Come on.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Justin Evans. And he's got his guys set up great now. 1st and goal. And the Pigs get at the 7-yard line. They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? Now Jones. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Jameis on 2nd down. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans from 8 yards out. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point good by Catanzaro, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, Don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll be third down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. Now it's Carson, and the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.
Let's go.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Baldwin. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. Wilson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now Wilson on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And his defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Looking to throw on second down. Wilson escaping the pressure right. And the pressure gets to him again.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like this passing situations. Hard to vary it up and fool the defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. And Janikowski bangs it through, and that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now a play fake here on first down. Space to maneuver at the 40. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. They go play action. Winston. Now a desperation throw deep down. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Wilson wants to throw it. Got a man. It's Brown. He finds an opening past the 40. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching in Atlanta, our apologies. Wilson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Wilson. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Vinny Curry in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. They run it with Carson. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Oh, it stays up. And that is incomplete. Breaking that one up was Justin Evans. Read it perfectly.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Let's go. It's time to play.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense.
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. K.J. Wright in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
hop out. Valet, walk out. All these bands I lost count. Cause I'm too up right now. Too up right now. I'm too on one day on my third. I was too broke, now I'm too rich. Made 100K on my third shift. I'm a boy, so boy, and I'm a gangster. And you a boy. Man, we been getting money. Hop out, valet, walk out. All these bands I lost count. Cause I'm too up right now. Too